It's Daryl here. It is 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast, Wednesday. I just want to update the AHMOUD Arbery black jogger shooting video I made. Initially, I read two different articles, and the way they described it was the son jumped out with a shotgun. He goes off camera, he crosses in front of the truck and goes off camera. There's a shot fired. The initial article I read from 5 days ago said at that point the father was in the back of the truck and fired the .357, hitting Arbery and dropping him, killing him. When you watch the video and you see the CBS version of it, it describes it a bit differently. That the son jumped out and they go off camera. You hear a gunshot from the shotgun. Then you see them come back into the camera, and the way they describe it, a second round from the shotgun kills Arbery. So the discrepancy here is the final shot coming from the son as opposed to the .357, the father in the back of the truck. Honestly, to me, I don't see how that makes a whole lot of difference, to be honest. Another point I'd like to bring up is this guy is a former law enforcement agency, a former cop, an investigator. He's a good-sized guy. Him and his son both look good-sized and very fit. It doesn't say much for their skills. They should not be trying to execute a private citizen arrest if they can't contain a suspect, or at least confront a suspect. Both of them being armed, one with a shotgun, one with a .357, and the fact that they lose control of the situation, an unarmed man starts to take control of the situation, whereas they have to shoot and kill him, says very little about their skills, or their motivation, one or the other, that they actually wanted to do this, that they pulled the trigger a little too easily, or they were very inept and unskilled, that they couldn't just simply confront a suspect. Both of them being big, fit men, armed, each armed, and they couldn't just confront and talk to, interrogate, hold on to the suspect without almost losing control of the shotgun and having to kill the man. If this is their skill set, my point here is they should not be in any form of law enforcement. If they can't, I would assume this guy being in law enforcement that he would be a little better at this situation. I don't know why he let his son handle the situation too. That's another question. To me, look, the bottom line, what I'm getting at here is either they were motivated by something else, by race, that they didn't like this black guy jogging through their neighborhood. They suspected him just because he was black. They pulled in and used their guns a lot quicker than they should have. That either that's a scenario, or they are terribly inept, clumsy, and pathetic when it comes to law enforcement skills. It's one or the other. You see what I'm saying here? Because that should not have happened in any circumstance. Even if the jogger was guilty, even if there was a very valid reason to confront him, this guy being in law enforcement, fit as he was, and his son, both armed, that they couldn't simply contain a suspect. Being a law enforcement officer, he doesn't have a taser, he doesn't have pepper spray, any non-lethal force that possibly he might have thought of using. See, these things lead me to think that he's either totally inept and unqualified and pathetic as a law enforcement officer, a joke, or he had other motivation to confront and shoot this guy. It's one or the other. Either he's clumsy and stupid, or he's racist. That's simplifying it. I was going to say I was going to apologize for the way I initially the video with the way I explained the order of the shooting, that I said it was the 357 that made the final shot, but I don't see there's any reason to apologize for it, as I wasn't the one that made the mistake. I was just reporting what I had read, and I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference. Just some more to think about today. All right, you guys have a good Wednesday.